And it's not just about unsafe sex, but also sex education, the health issues that women face. It's a much wider umbrella. Chhatri ke niche bahut sare topics hain. I was also one of those students back in school who would giggle. You know, when in 9th standard we had the biology chapter of the male organ and the female organ. We would be like, "Arey, ye class to bunk kar de."
Other content releasing online is that there is an audience for everything.
Correct.
Even a plumbing video on how to fix your tap has some 1,000 views.
Exactly.
Hi guys, this is Rakul.
Hi guys, this is Tejas Deoskar.
Hi guys, this is Sumeet Vyas.
And
you're watching me on PeepingMoon.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to PeepingMoon.com. I am Rashita, Sahni. Not a lot of times do we come across a film that manages to sort of give us the quirky vibe but also delivers a very important message on sex education. We have all been wanting to talk more about it, and today we have with us Sumeet, Tejas and Rakul to talk more about Chhatriwali. Hi you guys, how have you been?
Very
Very
good. How are you?
Very nice.
Good
thank
as
you.
well. Now, I just watched the trailer. Firstly, I'm so happy that we are having these conversations and we are finally having films in India that do talk about sex education. I don't know why people have been shying away to sort of make content on this, but hats off to all three of you and the entire team of the film for coming together and putting this along. Rakul, starting from you, I think a lot of people will term this as a brave choice. I am sure people have texted you that already. I don't understand why, because of course it is something quirky, but I think to term it brave is again putting it into a box and making it a taboo. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad that you perceived it like this, you know. In fact, there have been a lot of people around me who said, "Oh, great, brave choice," but you know, this is a little tricky, or the narrative is a little tricky, and I'm like, but how is it? The more I will make hush about it, the more we as makers will think that this is taboo. It will come across as taboo.
Exactly.
But the fact is that it is not taboo. If you look at your 8th standard books, then it is a part of your curriculum. So there is a reason why the world believes that it needs to be an education at the right age, and people need to know about the well-being of a woman, or you know, the right way forward at that particular age. But still, somewhere in the society, we've sort of made it a taboo and we don't talk about it. But to all of us, we feel it's basic science. It's normal evolution of a body. It's as important as heart health is, you know, when you talk about physical health or mental health or heart health or whatever. Sexual health is also that important because every human being goes through that journey. And more so the women, actually, you know, are on the face the brunt of it. So I am very happy that we've all come together and made a film which is not preachy. It's entertaining. It's a story about this girl who also through her life journey stumbles upon the reality of life and realizes that this is a need of the hour, and then talks about it, you know. So I'm glad that we're making this, and but through an entertaining way, so people get the messaging.
I hope so too.
Yes.
Yeah. But Sumit, even in the trailer, your comic timing, even when you are saying the dialogue with a poker face, I feel that vibe that, you know, you are going to make us laugh a lot in the film. So a little more about your character.
Again, he's Rishi, the character's name is. He's a very endearing person. He's again somebody with not a lot of complexes, you know, and very few people around me I see are able to live their life like that, free of, you know, complex and basic judgment about themselves. Which is what I liked about the character, you know, and that's why he's, to someone who, you know, with Rakul's character, who's, you know, very focused and in that sense, very brave in the choices she's made in life. That's the only way that someone with such a strong personality would like someone, you know. And again, he's not insecure about anything around him. So even when he's faced with an adversity, you know, he's in a bit of a fix in terms of the plot. You never see the character losing his stance in life. he doesn't lose his what do you call his positivity, I guess.
That's nice, yeah.
And that's something that really spoke to me.
I think that also translated on screen through those 2 minutes of watching the trailer.
Yeah.
But Tejas, you tell me, filmmakers often are always burdened that ye mat banao, ye nahi chalega, India ki audience nahi dekhegi. I'm sure people your way must have told you that. I'm not very, convinced with that fact. I think we need more such stories, and we need to explore, we need to move away from rom-coms. We need to make stories that talk about sex education or protection or having safe sex, all of that. How did this idea pop up? And was Rakul always the first choice? Because after watching the trailer, I feel she really fits into the character. So does Sumit, and I think everyone else who's there.
I think other than anything else, a film should be of a good story. Everything else comes much later, whether it's a taboo subject or not, or whatever it is. So story has to be really good. And when the writers, I must mention their names here, Sanchit and Priyadarshi, two brilliant, bright boys who came to me with this idea 2-3 years back, and I thought that this is a story I must definitely take into consideration, and I wanted to make a film on that. So I'm happy that I'm getting to make that film. And when I first went to RSVP and Ronnie heard the story, he said that yes, we are making this. So it was a smooth run in a way that the story could, people could see that story has a lot of potential to reach out to wider audience. And like we are also saying that it's not just an education that we're talking about. We are talking about entertainment first, because when you try to tell somebody in a very lighter way, people are receptive about it.
Correct.
Right? So we are trying to do that.
Okay.
And talking about the characters in the story, I think they are the characters you will find all around you. Everybody would find people around them similar to Bhaiji, similar to Rishi, similar to Sania also. But the ensemble of it, when you see a collective effect, that translates into a happy viewing. For characters, particularly Rakul, like you asked, when I saw her in earlier films, when Chhatriwali was not even in picture, I thought that she is fitting into that particular character so well.
Correct.
I thought of having her in one of my stories, and I could get a story which I could take to her, and she also liked it. So I think everything is fitting nicely for Chhatriwali.
Amazing. Agreed to that completely. I felt the same when, of course, I watched the trailer. But Rakul, last year this film called Janhit Mein Jaari released, which had a similar subject line. I wouldn't compare, but as you know, comparisons are like inevitable when two similar subject films come in that are not very common, because we see thrillers being made every second day. No one's comparing those things. It was also led by a female actor. How do you feel about it, and are you ready to sort of give answers to these comparison questions?
No, like you said, the comparison is inevitable, but like you also said that, there are so many thrillers, so many love stories, so many action stories, but no two films are the same. And I think the treatment to our film is very different, and it's not just about unsafe sex, but also sex education, the health issues that women face. It's a much wider umbrella. Chhatri ke niche bahut sare topics hain. So I feel that it's a very, and always, every film's narrative will be different. The style of storytelling would be different. The director's element is different. So our film is very different from a film that has come before, and I think audiences should view it as a different subject. Of course, because it is a very unusual topic, you will think the other way. But once you see the trailer, you've seen the trailer. It's very different. It's a very family film that you can watch with. It is about a family, and you can watch it with your family. And there's not one scene or one dialogue that I cannot watch with my parents. So I think that way we are a very different film, and the audiences will see it.
I'm sure. I think everyone should actually go with their families, because comparatively the younger generation is still acceptable of it, and they know a lot more than I think what my mom or dad generation belongs to. So definitely agreed to that. I also heard some people say that it's a proper family entertainer. So
it is.
Exactly. So there's no uncomfort you
Yeah.
know, when you're watching it with your family on your screens, it's
Yeah.
not like discomfort.
You know, I
at
would
all.
never do something that I cannot watch with my parents. I run
Oh, that's so
everything
sweet, yeah.
out of choice. Whenever I sign a film, I tell my parents or discuss the script with them or give them like a 1-minute synopsis that this is what I'm doing, next. And it would really make me uncomfortable if I can't watch it with them, if I
Exactly.
cannot celebrate my film with my family. So this is a film that can be celebrated with family and in a much more eye-opening way.
Perfect. Sumit, as you mentioned about your character, he's not insecure and he's very positive. As an actor, do you feel the same way? Because I have heard a lot of actresses say that when a film is led by an actress, a female star is on the poster, not a lot of actors come forward to work with them. They are a little hesitant because they want that, I'm the hero of the film tag. I have not seen that in your choices of films. You have shown so much versatility over these years with all the different roles you have played. What is the mantra that you follow?
I mean, if I like the story, if I like the part that I'm offered, then if I actually like the people that I'm working with, that's actually most important for me. How the film is going to shape up and how I'm going to be received is something that I cannot control. But who I'm working with and am I going to have a good time and is it going to be a good experience is something that I can control. So I make a lot of these decisions based on that also. Like I think I read the script first and then I had a few questions and then I met Tejas and we hung out. We had tea and I was just like, "Arey, karte hai." So
Vibe match ho gayi.
हाँ, it should work.
Yeah.
है ना? वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. Because eventually when I get old and when all my teeth fall off, I'm going to remember these experiences.
Okay, that's so sweet. Nice. But Tejas, now that of course the initial reactions have come in and people are sort of started talking about the story, there is a certain expectation also because we would really, I don't know about people in general, but I think people from the media and people who are from this generation would really want stories like this. We would want versatile things to come forward and we would want to openly talk about things people really feel sometimes uncomfortable to talk about. Is there a certain amount of pressure now on your shoulders because there is a certain expectation from Chhatriwali?
But I think I'll take it as a positive thing. It's not a pressure, it's a welcoming thing.
Yeah.
That I can now come up with stories which were not accepted probably earlier, maybe 2-3 years back. They were not accepted. Now, even if I come with something completely new, I would say, there are people who are going to accept it. So, more than pressure, I think it's a very welcoming era. All the filmmakers are living in right now. And for Chhatriwali particularly, I think the trailer's response will tell everybody what kind of film we are offering. So, it's only way forward. I mean, very
and I'll tell
positively.
you the biggest positive thing about online and films and other content releasing online is that there is an audience for everything.
Correct.
Even a plumbing video on how to fix your tap has some 1,000 views.
Exactly, yeah.
Because someone who would want to watch that will find it. So then it comes down to what is the story that you want to tell. You must really believe in your story and say and tell your story with utmost conviction.
Correct.
And it will find its audience over the
true,
course
true.
of time.
I'm sure about that. But as you know, as I saw in the trailer as well, Rakul, your character is taking this upon herself that I want to this. Why is this optional? Why is this, in exams, why are you giving it optional? And students are saying, hum isko chhod dete hain, nahi padna. They are also feeling a certain amount of discomfort. As someone who played this character, did you have to do your own little research?
Well, not research pertaining to this, but let me not shy away from saying that possibly I was also one of those students back in school who would giggle.
Yeah.
When in 9th standard we had the biology chapter of the male organ and the female organ. We would be like, "Arey, ye class to bunk kar dete, let's just skip class." And and in my school we had a sex education seminar in 9th standard, and everyone was making fun of it, right? And I think most of us would relate to it that when we were in school, now there is a reason why the school curriculum thought it's important. But in the society, there is a reason why we are giggling also.
Correct.
You know, why is it not normalized? And it's been happening since then. I mean, I passed out of school when? And you know, I mean, itna bhi when nahi. But yeah, like I'm saying 10 years back or 12 years back. So if this has been ongoing, then there is a gap somewhere, right? And the gap is what we are trying to, through a subtle messaging, say through this film. And the gap is possibly just the conversation. You know, anything that you don't speak about becomes a taboo.
Yeah.
Anything that you think or over years people don't talk about becomes like like hush hush about it. So, you know, even I was one of those students. So when and of course over the years your ways of thinking change, and you know, you become more evolved in your head. So when I was approaching the film, and when I remember when I read the script and I read those scenes, and I was like, yes, this is exactly what happens. And you know, Sania's fight is also, please tell me, why is it when life mein you don't have an option,
Correct.
it is compulsory in life.
Yeah.
Whether you have a profession or not, everything else is compulsory in life. Women don't have an option. Then why the knowledge about it or education about it is an option?
Yeah.
Even that should be compulsory, because they are the ones who bear the brunt of health if not taken care.
Correct.
You know, if the government is sort of educating people about HIV, how is it? It's definitely important, and that is using protection or unsafe sex. But we just don't want to say the word
Say
sex.
it, yeah.
You know, and it's normal.
I know. People, yeah, I mean, saying the word sex or condoms, it's become so, I don't know why.
And I
for
don't know
people-
when or why
Yeah,
this has
it's
happened,
a little-
because it's not in the West.
Correct.
There is a show called Sex Education, which is possibly one of the most
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highest
you know,
grossing
highest
show of
grossing
Netflix.
shows.
Yeah.
And somebody was telling me this is the only thing that no human escapes from.
Yeah.
Then
Exactly.
why are we not educated about it? Why do we want to have problems and later, you know, women go through so many health issues? There's cervical cancer, there's miscarriages, abortions, health issues, what do you call those cysts in the ovaries? But nobody talks about safe sex. And somewhere over the years, it's a patriarchy of the society or whatever it is. So we all related to it, and we felt that it's a relevant topic.
I'm sure it is. But you know, also talking about the release, now I feel OTT and cinemas are beautifully coexisting, and that is the way it should be for years to come. But when we talk about this certain film, do you feel OTT is the perfect fit for the release? We can start with you, Tejas.
I think comparing both the platforms is not a great thing to do right now, because today it's the way it is.
Correct.
Okay, it's probably going to change in coming years. It was something else in previous years. Now today, if we live in the moment, I think this is what it is, and I think it's great to have your film out there, made be an OTT thing or theatrical. So I think right now Chhatriwali is on ZEE5, and I think this is one of the best platforms we could actually think of, because the reach and the kind of audiences they have. I think we are doing our best to put that film out in the public on ZEE5.
Sounds good. Rakul?
I definitely feel that it's great that a subject like this is coming on digital more so, because of the taboo associated, which actually it is not.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it's coming on digital, because it stays forever. People get an option to watch it once they hear good things about it. See, our motto is to entertain people, and through entertainment there is a messaging which samajhdar ko ishara kafi hai. That's it. We are not trying to be preachy. Now a platform like Zee gives us a huge reach. It gives us a reach into sectors which possibly need to know about what we're talking, the subject that we're speaking. Hence, I feel that a film like this coming on a platform like Zee, which has that kind of a reach, and in the tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, because it needs to reach the audiences it's made for. And I think nothing better than this could have been perceived for the film.
I think it will go straight to the target audience that
The
you all have
target
been
audience,
wanting to
yeah.
approach.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sumit, what about you?
Same, yeah. I mean, as actors, as filmmakers, the whole idea is that you make something that reaches more and more people. You know, so it doesn't matter what medium it reaches from. You know,
Yeah.
There was a time when cinema was one of the only alternatives where you could release a film and people could watch it. Now you have these platforms, and I don't think I think people have also gotten over the whole comparison or the whole fuss about, oh, this is coming on the big screen and this is coming on the small screen. Doesn't matter what screen
Correct,
it comes on,
yeah.
as long as it's a good film and more people watch it, it's fine.
I'm sure. I personally cannot wait to watch Chhatriwali, but thank you so much for this
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank
All
you
the
so
very
much.
best for the film, and congratulations
Thank you.
already.
Thank you.
The
Thank
trailer is
you.
going to release this evening, so I'm sure it's going to be a big hit.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.